Everyone, welcome back. We're going to be diving deep today into a book that a lot of you guys have been talking about. It really gets into masculinity and societal structures
Right.
and legacy.
Yeah, this one really is fascinating. I mean, just the way it kicks off talking about this, the Yanomami tribe, they're known for these really intense physical competitions. And the author uses that as a kind of like a starting point to look at raw masculinity, almost
Now,
primal.
interesting. So is it, like winning a wrestling match or just being good with a spear or something? What's the deeper point with these competitions for them?
Well, that's what I found so interesting. The book argues that it all boils down to status and reproductive success.
Yeah.
So it's how the Yanomami men kind of prove their worth. And, obviously the strongest, most dominant males are the ones who are going to end up with more wives and children.
Yeah, that makes sense in a society where being physically strong and skilled is like directly tied to your survival, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but how does that connect to us, living in the modern world?
Well, that's exactly what the author gets at. It's not just some weird cultural quirk. It's like a window into our evolutionary past, right? I mean, for most of human history, men who were physically strong and capable, they were the providers and the protectors. Those traits were essential for survival. So the book is suggesting that those instincts are still deeply ingrained in us,
Yeah.
biologically.
Oh, wow. So even though we're not facing the same dangers as our hunter-gatherer ancestors, those instincts are still like part of what makes us men.
Yeah, exactly. And the book actually goes on to suggest that modern society kind of ignores or even tries to suppress those instincts. And, that can lead to a lot of the problems that men are facing today. He specifically points to the rise of feminism and the way that masculinity is portrayed in the media, often in a negative light.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I mean, we've all seen those portrayals of men as like bumbling fools or just insensitive brutes. You know what I mean? How does the book address that?
Well, he argues that it's not only inaccurate, but it's harmful. It contributes to this sense of shame and confusion among men. It leads them to kind of question their own instincts and their values.
So it's not just about feeling misrepresented. It's about the impact those portrayals have on men's, like self-perception and their place in society.
That's exactly it. The book argues that these negative messages, they can have a really profound impact on men's mental health and well-being. Lead to a loss of confidence, a loss of purpose, and even, a decline in physical health.
Wow, that's kind of alarming. So we've got this disconnect between our evolutionary heritage and the messages that we're getting from society. Where does the book go from there?
Well, he digs into the biological side of things, focusing on testosterone. He argues that testosterone is the fuel behind male vitality and drive, even aggression. And this is key. He suggests that modern life is actually messing with our testosterone levels.
So it's not just about feeling stressed or overwhelmed. There could be actual like physiological changes happening.
Yeah, that's the argument. The book points to things like diet, lack of physical activity, and chronic stress as potential culprits. And this, he says, can have like a whole cascade of negative effects, from low energy to decreased libido to increased risk of depression, even heart disease.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty heavy. But is there anything men can do about it? Does the book offer any solutions?
Yeah, it does. One of the key things it emphasizes is this idea of like returning to more traditional masculine activities and values. Things like physical fitness, competition, and taking on challenges. These are presented as ways to boost testosterone and kind of reclaim that sense of vitality and purpose.
So it's not just about like hitting the gym for vanity's sake. It's about tapping into something deeper, something essential.
That's it. The book argues that these activities are not just hobbies or ways to pass the time. They're expressions of our innate masculinity. Engaging in them can have a really profound impact on our physical and mental health.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like we're reconnecting with something that's been lost, in the modern world.
Right. And the book goes on to explore how this loss of connection is manifesting in different areas of life, from relationships and career to our overall sense of purpose.
So it's a pretty broad look at the challenges that men are facing, but with a focus on understanding the root causes and offering solutions.
Precisely. It challenges us to kind of, to challenge conventional wisdom and for men to take a more active role in shaping their own lives, rather than passively accepting the messages that they're being bombarded with.
Okay, so we've talked about evolution, biology, and the impact of modern society. What else does the book explore?
One of the most fascinating parts is the critique of what he calls the woke agenda. He argues that it's a form of cultural Marxism that seeks to undermine traditional values and ultimately dismantle Western civilization as we know it.
Whoa, cultural Marxism. That sounds intense. Can you unpack that a bit more?
It's a complex topic, but essentially he's arguing that that this ideology is trying to redefine power dynamics,
No.
promoting victimhood narratives and pitting different identity groups against each other. He suggests that it's leading to a breakdown of traditional hierarchies and institutions, leaving men feeling lost and uncertain of their role in society.
So it's not just about being politically correct or sensitive to other people's feelings. It's a more fundamental shift in how we view power and identity.
Exactly. And the book argues that this shift is being intentionally driven by certain groups, with specific agendas, and that men are often targeted as the oppressors in this narrative.
That's a pretty controversial claim. How does he support this argument? Does he offer any specific examples?
Oh, he does. He points to things like how men are often portrayed in the media, the push for gender-neutral language, and the rise of what he calls woke capitalism, where corporations use social justice messaging to make a profit.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just abstract ideas. He's looking at how this is playing out in the real world.
Exactly. He's looking at the concrete ways that this ideology is shaping our institutions, our culture, even our personal relationships.
This is definitely getting into some thought-provoking territory, and I know our listeners are going to have a lot of questions about this.
I agree. And we'll dive deeper into some of those specifics in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, sounds good. So we've got evolution, biology, the impact of modern society, and this critique of the woke agenda. Where do we go from here?
Well, the book spends a significant portion looking at the challenges that men face in the modern dating world, particularly in the age of apps like Tinder. And, he paints a pretty bleak picture, suggesting that these platforms have actually made the natural dynamics of attraction worse in a way that's really unfair to men.
We've all heard those stories about how, a small percentage of men get most of the attention on dating apps. How does the book address that?
He argues that these apps have created a system where men are constantly being judged and ranked, with only a select few meeting these impossible standards set by women.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending competition with incredibly high stakes. What kind of impact does that have on men?
Well, he suggests that this constant rejection can be incredibly demoralizing, leading to a loss of confidence, feelings of inadequacy, and even depression. It's especially damaging, he argues, because it goes against men's natural instinct to pursue and conquer.
So it's not just about feeling disappointed or frustrated. It's about a deeper sense of being denied something that's essential to our masculine identity.
Exactly. He's suggesting that these dating apps are contributing to a crisis of masculinity, leaving men feeling lost, confused, and unsure of how to navigate this modern dating landscape.
Yeah, that's pretty sobering. But I know our listeners are going to want to know what can they do about it. Does the book offer any practical advice?
It does, and we'll get into those specific strategies in the next part of our deep dive. But one of the key themes that emerges is the importance of self-improvement.
So it's not about blaming women or complaining about the unfairness of the system. It's about taking ownership of your own life and working to become the best version of yourself.
Precisely. The book argues that true confidence comes from within. That that by focusing on improving their physical fitness, their financial stability, their social skills, men can reclaim their power and attract the kind of partners that they desire.
Right. It's about recognizing that we can't control external circumstances, but we can control our own actions and choices.
Exactly. And, that's a really empowering message. It's about shifting the focus from external validation to internal strength and self-reliance.
This is definitely a lot to unpack, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear more.
Oh, yeah. We've only just scratched the surface. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore the book's specific advice for navigating those challenges of modern dating, reclaiming your masculine power, and building a life of purpose and fulfillment.
Sounds like a plan.
Welcome back. So let's dive into some of the specific challenges and solutions the book lays out.
Yeah, let's pick up where we left off with navigating the whole modern dating scene. You mentioned the book had some practical advice. What exactly does it suggest?
Well, one of the most striking points is this idea that men should understand and even leverage the biological and evolutionary factors that drive attraction. The book argues that men and women are wired differently, and ignoring those differences can lead to, a lot of frustration and disappointment.
So instead of trying to conform to what we think we should be doing, the book suggests we should embrace those inherent differences.
Exactly. It encourages men to focus on the traits that women are naturally drawn to, things like physical fitness, confidence, social status. Not in a manipulative way, but as a way to become the best versions of themselves.
Okay, so it's not about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about self-improvement and authentically embodying those qualities.
Precisely. The book argues that men shouldn't be ashamed of their natural desires, and that striving to be physically fit, financially secure, and socially adept are really natural extensions of those desires. It also gets into the importance of assertiveness in dating. It challenges this idea that men should passively wait for women to make the first move, arguing that this goes against their natural instincts and can lead to missed opportunities.
So be confident, take initiative, and don't be afraid to express your interests. That does seem to align with a lot of the evolutionary biology we talked about earlier.
Right. The book contends that confidence is attractive, and that men should approach dating with a proactive mindset rather than a fearful one.
It's about taking control and going after what you want, not just sitting back and hoping it falls into your lap. That resonates with the idea of reclaiming your power that we discussed earlier.
Exactly. And the book also reminds us that traditional masculine traits, they've been essential in building successful societies throughout history.
We briefly touched on the woke agenda before. Did the book connect those ideas to dating and relationships at all?
It does. The book argues that the push for gender equality, while positive in many ways, has also led to some unintended consequences for men, particularly in how they approach dating and relationships.
I'm curious to hear more about that. What specific consequences does it highlight?
Well, the book suggests that this blurring of gender roles has created a lot of confusion for men. They're told to be sensitive and emotionally available, but also strong and assertive. It's a mixed message that can be really hard to navigate.
So it's almost like men are being pulled in two opposite directions, and it's creating a sense of uncertainty and anxiety.
Exactly. The book, encourages men to examine these issues critically and to find ways to assert their own needs and desires in a world that often seems to prioritize women's experiences.
The book also mentions something called woke capitalism, right? How does that tie into the discussion of masculinity and relationships?
Yeah, he argues that woke capitalism is basically a form of cultural Marxism that uses social justice messaging to make a profit, often at the expense of traditional masculine values. He points to examples like the Gillette ad controversy, where the company, seemingly demonized masculinity in an attempt to appeal to a certain audience.
Yeah, that ad definitely sparked a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
How does the book frame that event in the larger context of its arguments?
He uses it as an example of how corporations are increasingly pushing an agenda that undermines traditional masculinity, often under the guise of promoting equality, and he suggests that this type of messaging can be incredibly damaging to men's self-esteem and their sense of identity.
It's like they're being told that their natural instincts are wrong or even harmful, which goes back to the point about negative portrayals of masculinity in the media.
Exactly. The book encourages men to be critical of these messages and to reclaim the positive aspects of traditional masculinity. Things like strength, courage, leadership.
That's a powerful message. It's about recognizing the value of those traits, not denying them or trying to suppress them.
Right. It's about finding a balance, embracing the positive aspects of masculinity, while also recognizing the need for empathy, respect, and emotional intelligence.
Speaking of balance, the book also talks about the importance of male friendships and brotherhood.
Right. Absolutely. It really highlights the need for men to connect with other men in meaningful ways. To build those bonds of camaraderie and support that are so essential for for their well-being.
Yeah, having a group of guys who get what you're going through can make a huge difference.
It can. The book emphasizes that strong social connections are crucial for men's mental health, especially in a world that often isolates them or pressures them to suppress their emotions.
So it's not just about having fun or blowing off steam. It's about having a space where you can be yourself, share your struggles, and receive support without judgment.
Exactly. The book suggests that men need to rediscover the power of brotherhood, to create those spaces where they can connect with each other on a deeper level and build each other up.
It goes back to that idea of reclaiming those primal instincts and adapting them to the modern world. What other practical advice does the book offer for navigating the challenges of modern masculinity?
One of the key themes is the importance of setting clear goals and taking action. The book argues that men are natural problem solvers, and that they thrive when they have a sense of purpose and direction.
So it's not enough to just understand the issues. You need to actively work toward solutions.
Exactly. The book encourages men to take ownership of their lives, set ambitious goals, and develop the discipline and resilience to achieve them. And this is a key part of reclaiming their masculine power.
It's about taking control, being proactive, and not letting yourself be defined by circumstances. That definitely resonates with the overall message of the book.
It does. The book argues that men have the potential to achieve great things, but they need to step up and embrace their natural strengths and abilities.
What about the role of technology in the modern world? Does the book address that at all?
Yeah, it does. It acknowledges that technology can be a double-edged sword. It can be a powerful tool for connection and learning, even self-improvement. But it can also be incredibly distracting and even addictive, leading to a sense of isolation and disconnection.
Yeah, we've all experienced that, getting sucked into the endless scroll of social media or spending hours, glued to our screens. What's the book's advice for navigating that challenge?
It encourages men to be mindful of their technology use and to set boundaries to avoid getting consumed by it. To use technology as a tool to enhance their lives, not as a crutch to escape reality. The book also gets into this concept of legacy, arguing that men are hardwired to seek a sense of immortality through their actions and contributions.
This is not just about living for the moment. It's about creating something that will outlast you.
Exactly. It suggests that men are driven by something deeper than just personal success. They want to leave a mark on the world, to build something that carries on their values, their ideas, even after they're gone.
That's a powerful idea. It's about finding meaning and purpose in something bigger than yourself.
It is. And the book encourages men to think about the legacy they want to leave behind, whether that's through their family, their work, their community involvement, or their creative endeavors.
So it's not just about achieving success or accumulating wealth. It's about making a difference, but leaving the world a better place than you found it.
Exactly. And the book suggests that this is a key part of what makes life truly fulfilling for men.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but there's still so much more to explore. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve into some specific strategies for building that legacy, reclaiming your masculine power, and creating a life of purpose and fulfillment.
We'll also look at the importance of mental toughness, the power of discipline, and the role of spirituality in navigating the challenges of modern manhood.
This is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, and we're excited to continue exploring it with you. Welcome back. We've been having this really thought-provoking conversation about what it means to be a man in today's world.
Yeah, it's a topic with so many layers, and I think the book we're discussing really doesn't shy away from tackling those tough challenges.
One thing that really resonated with me was the discussion about the pressure on men to man up, and how that can actually be, detrimental.
Yeah, it's a message that can be, well-intentioned.
Yeah.
But it often leads men to bottle up their emotions and avoid seeking help when they really need it.
Yeah, it's like society tells men to be strong, but not too strong,
Yep.
sensitive, but not too sensitive. It creates a lot of confusion.
Exactly, exactly. And the book really challenges those limiting beliefs and encourages men to embrace their full emotional range. It emphasizes that true strength lies in acknowledging vulnerability and seeking support when necessary.
It's about recognizing that, we don't have to go through these challenges alone. We can lean on each other, and there's strengths in that.
Absolutely, and the book also highlights the importance of having strong male friendships, creating those spaces where men can be open and honest with each other, without fear of judgment.
It's about fostering those deep connections, those bonds of brotherhood that can provide that sense of belonging and purpose.
Right, right. And it's it's about recognizing that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of self-awareness and courage.
We also talked about the importance of legacy, and the book suggests that men are hardwired to seek a sense of immortality through their actions and contributions.
Yeah, that's a fascinating concept. It suggests that men are driven by something deeper than just personal success, a desire to leave their mark on the world.
It's about creating something that outlasts you, something that carries on your values and your ideals.
Exactly. And this legacy can manifest in many forms, whether it's through family, work, community involvement, or creative pursuits.
It's about finding meaning in something larger than yourself, making a contribution that ripples outwards.
And the book emphasizes that this sense of purpose can be incredibly powerful in navigating those challenges of modern life.
So, what are some practical steps our listeners can take to reclaim their masculinity and build a life that feels truly fulfilling?
Well, the book offers a wealth of advice, but here are a few key takeaways.
Okay, I'm all ears.
First, prioritize self-improvement. Focus on building your physical strength, developing your skills, and expanding your knowledge.
It's about investing in yourself and becoming the best version you can be.
Second, cultivate strong relationships with other men. Build those bonds of brotherhood, find mentors, and seek out communities where you can connect with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, it's about surrounding yourself with a supportive network that understands your journey.
Third, define your values and live in accordance with them. Don't let society dictate who you should be or what you should believe.
It's about owning your truth and living authentically, even if that means going against the grain.
Fourth, set clear goals and pursue them with relentless determination. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back.
It's about taking ownership of your life and creating the future you desire.
And finally, remember that the journey of reclaiming your masculinity is an ongoing one. It's about continuous growth, self-discovery, and a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself.
That's a powerful message, and I think it resonates with a lot of men who are seeking direction and purpose in a world that often feels confusing and overwhelming.
Yeah, I agree. This book offers a roadmap for navigating those challenges and finding a path to true fulfillment.
If you're ready to embark on that journey, I highly recommend checking out the book we've been discussing. You can find it on Amazon, Kindle, and Google Play Books.
It's a valuable resource that can help you reclaim your power, redefine what it means to be a man, and create a life that feels authentic and meaningful.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it's provided you with some valuable insights and inspired you to take action in your own life.
Remember, the power to create the life you desire lies within you. Embrace your masculinity. Step into your full potential and never stop striving to become the best version of yourself.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.